Rocket League team. Absolutely insane performance. Gabe and I were on that cast. She scored 7 goals across 4 games. Absolutely monstrous performance. So can't wait for you to have that interview with her. But before then, let's climb that league ladder.
Look at this guy.
All right, so let's look at what happened in NACE. Starting off with Rocket League, let's just actually start talking about Lotus, because if I'm being honest, that's probably the brightest spot for the Mountaineers this week.
For sure.
It was not a great week for the Mountaineers. Valorant lost. Rocket League lost.
Yes.
And COD went 1-1. They caught their first win, so that was good. They beat UNTD, but got absolutely dismantled by Oklahoma Christian.
Wasn't a great one there.
Lotus, the only one finding the win from the regular scheduled matches. So let's talk about this. That is
dive
not,
right into that.
That is not one. All right. So again, Akron forfeit. Now that is their 3rd forfeit in a row, so the league actually can now restart to begin the process of removing them if they would like. I think they should.
I do agree. It kind of ruins a lot of stuff here.
Exactly.
Especially for us, because, you can't see how these teams are playing. You're just getting a free win every week, basically. So now you have no clue, okay, how is this team going to perform against a team like Akron? Because you have no clue. They're not even playing the game. So it is definitely, I think, in the best interest here to just remove them, as sad as that may be. But if you don't show up, what do you do? So
exactly. I think that you can't have a third, over a third.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean,
if they forfeit next week, they will forfeit half their games.
Yeah, it's
like you're just talking about. Look, and sure, you forfeit the game, but you give the other team an off week. Maybe they have more preparation for the week after that. But still, like, you registered for this, you paid to be here. And then you're just going to it just simply makes no sense to me.
Throw them out the window there. I mean,
Rocket League Red picking up another win, which is very detrimental to WVU because their WVU's 1 loss. So not the greatest thing there. WVU Lotus. Let's just talk about it.
Let's dive into that one. Let's start it off positive here.
Player Saints Academy was the team that knocked them out of the divisional championship last semester, and oh boy, did they get their get back.
Oh yeah.
4-3, 3-2. They lost to 2-3 and 3-2. One goal deficit
every single game. Yeah.
However, that does not tell the story.
Box score. You can never really tell how a game was. Just a little box score. You have to dive into the stats and see exactly what happened. You had the privilege, I believe, of casting that game correct.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. The Mountaineer roster just looked so good. And I'll actually point out that 1 loss came in overtime from the Mountaineers after what we thought should have been a buzzer beater goal by Jacoby. I'm not sure if you were watching that, but the angle looked good. Everything looked great. We thought it was in the net, and the game just said no. Everyone in the chat was like, fix your game, Epic. But nonetheless, they end up losing in overtime there. So again, not even losing that game in regulation, really keeping it competitive. But that 4-3 and 3-2 game, they just look so strong.
It was really good.
Emma with a hat trick in game 1. And it was just all Mountaineers all night. I cannot understate how much that score, all those scores in those games just does not reflect what that Lotus team was able to do. And especially, I think it's important to talk about coming off of a very disappointing CRL weekend.
It was quite disappointing. So it's good to see now getting back into this and just, getting some W's on the sheets. You know what I mean? It's important to bounce back from those deficits, especially for your mentality as well.
Yeah.
To know, we can go out there and we can win games. We can dominate in this sort of fashion.
Yeah.
And it's great for your team.
Absolutely. And the team that actually knocked them out of the losers bracket in CRL is this Shocker JV team from Wichita State, which is in their conference.
Yes. So that could.
I think that is a very big message to that Shocker team that, hey, you might have knocked us out in CRL, but we're coming for you.
Come back for revenge.
So
against the St. Clair's team.
Perfect little segue here. That Shocker Wichita State team absolutely dismantled Montevallo State in it was ugly.
This is 7.
Game 1 was 7-2. That means that you're guaranteed. Almost guaranteed to have at least one person with a hat trick, possibly 2.
Right. So I mean, and then in the next 2 games, I mean, 7-2. Don't get me wrong, 7-2 is disgusting.
Yeah.
But is that worse than not scoring another goal for the entire series after that?
2-0-1-0. And hey, I'll give it to Montevello. Their defense got better.
They get a lot better.
But I have a feeling that's all they were focusing on because they didn't score another goal.
They kind of left the defense out the offense out the window. Their defense wins championships sometimes, not I guess here in Rocket League, but 2-0-1-0 to finish it off. Shocker taking that 3-0. I mean,
and I don't love this because this was a Montevello squad in week 1 that the Mountaineers took to game 5.
Yes.
Right. So you have to imagine perhaps that's just the progression of this team. They're getting better
for sure.
But again, very much looking forward to 2 matches. That one of which being that Wichita State, and the other of which being the currently top of the conference, UW Stout. The dark horse. No one's really ever heard of this squad, and then they just come in and
just dominate.
They have been absolutely dominating and making good runs in CRL too.
Yes,
they've been getting knocked down to the losers bracket late, so they've been being able to go through the winners bracket fairly easy, and then losing just around before quarters. The round is usually that, and however. I actually watched this. UW Stout played North Texas, and this was North Texas's first game. And I said, look, UW Stout's on an absolute tear right now. They have the opportunity. They have momentum, everything, and North Texas has their first game. I think I think I said on the Country Roads last week that this was going to be a 3-0. This was not.
No.
This was a 3-2 game that was very, very close. Look at this scoreline. Game 2, I think, is a bit of an outlier here. Game 1, North Texas took 3-2. That would be the first time UW Stout actually gave up a game.
That is crazy.
And then game 2, they came back. It was 7-4, a very high scoring game. And then game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 1-0. And then game number 5, 3-2, actually came in overtime. I was watching it. So UW Stout, you made the god bleed a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and North Texas, for their first game, put up a phenomenal performance despite the loss.
I mean, I would like to say though, looking at these games though, like 7-4 is that is a crazy outlier. Looking at, you had a 0-1 in game 4. So how do you go from 7 goals, then to 2 goals, then to no goals, and then bring it all back to win it in game 5?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is the question. And I think that's why we use the word outlier.
Outlier for sure. Yeah, I mean, you got to use that.
Something was in the air there. So let's look at how this kind of affects the standings a little bit. So UW Stout improves to 4-0, and your Mountaineers, number 2 at 3-1. Very, very impressive stuff. I mean, they have been smashing all expectations. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point out. Oh, actually, looking at this, I have confirmation. Akron Club has forfeited the rest of the season.
There it is. So. I think that is a good thing, though. I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate to see it happen, but I think it is better than continuing this road.
Well, here's the thing: the teams are still going to get the wins.
Yes, so now you're not at least maybe thinking about this game on the schedule. Are they going to come back randomly? Are we going to be the first team to fight them?
Yeah. So
now you're going to clear out of your mind.
Sitting at 8th at 0-7, so that means that they have officially forfeited the rest of the season. But looking down, and here's where this really comes into. If the Mountaineers are going to look to anything for the rest of the season, they're going to look towards the UW Stout game and the Shocker game. If they lose to UW Stout, that's not really an issue.
Right.
However, I would really, really love to see them beat this Wichita State Shocker JV.
I mean, that's going to be a huge confidence boost if that is able to go through.
And that would fully solidify them in second place.
Oh, 100%.
So even if Rocket League Red wins out, and, I guess I should say, if Rocket League Red wins out and we win out, technically Rocket League Red would jump us due to the head-to-head being that loss. However, I highly doubt that happening because Rocket League Red still has to play UW Stout and Shocker.
And those are two games that, you don't think they're going to just, steamroll through. Those are going to be very difficult games to pull off, especially, UW Stout so far, so perfect. Yeah. So,
And as we look down, so Shocker JV currently 2-0, Rocket League Red 2-1, not in a great position, currently tied for third. And then all the way down in fifth, North Texas 1-1. St. Clair Academy falling to 1-2.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest storylines of the entire Uncapped conference in Varsity Plus. And then you have Montevallo 1-2. So look, a very close race, but the Mountaineers have solidified themselves as a true juggernaut.
100%.
And if they're able to come out with these wins against either UW Stout or Shocker, you could be looking at the number one team in Varsity Plus. But enough about that. Let's move on to the main roster. So, a disappointing weekend for the Mountaineer main roster, and I will say it was close.
Yes.
It was very, very close. The Mountaineers kept it with them the entire way. They went down 2-0. Look, like this reminds me so much of what we saw all of CRL weekend. They would go down 2-0, and then they would come back, and then they just could not finish it out. And
looking at
this scoreline,
probably the craziest we've seen in a while.
Insane. Actually, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, that's got to be a glitch, right?
No, I don't think that's correct. I think someone just submitted that to show the wins and losses because there were definite. Because the Mountaineers put up 6.
Yeah, and looking at this, according to this, they only put up 2.
The game number 3 was a 6-0 victory for the Mountaineers.
Wow.
So that was the start of what should have been the reverse sweep. But and without the scores here, I'm not terribly. The only game that sticks out to me is that 6-0. But I don't know. It was very unfortunate, and the Mountaineers are really kind of showing that the lights get a little too bright.
Sometimes, yes.
And that is not really what you want to see.
No.
Especially when you have Ole Miss beating Bruton Parker. Now, I will say Ole Miss Bruton Parker was a very close game. We were watching that live. And Ole Miss able to come out on top in the end there. St. Clair absolutely dismantling Illinois State. And then shocker, Shawnee State rescheduled another game.
Yeah, just
shocker.
Literally a shocker.
Look, you know what? I went on a little bit of a rant about this during the mainstream, but I'm going to go on a real rant about this right now. Because it is so... How do
let's
I
hear it?
this?
Yeah, let's hear it on a...
How do I want to...
See how you formulate a sentence here, Chen.
Because we are now in week number 4.
Yes. And they have...
going into week number 4, right?
Yep. So...
And currently on the schedule, they already rescheduled next game.
They're just,
So you're going to go into halfway through the season not playing a single game. Not only that, you're going to just show that no one knows how you play.
Nope.
No one knows how good you are. No one knows your record. And now you're forcing people to move around your schedule in the last 3 weeks of the season. They don't start playing. Actually, well, you know what? I will say this. They do have a game March 3rd. Against us. It's their first game. And well, hold on. Let me make sure that I'm not being ill-advised on this and that Shawnee State has played a game. No, they haven't.
Okay, no game played.
So
continue the rant. You're valid now.
They don't start playing until next week.
Yep. They've been prepping hard. I don't know what.
Ridiculous. Exactly, because you have these teams that are playing these games on top of having practice, and you're just going to make them reschedule
around your schedule.
And then you get more time to practice with the team. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
I think this is a scenario where this might cause a rule later on. I do think if you are rescheduling literally every single game on your schedule, there has got to be there's got to be a penalty.
It's not even later in the week. It's later in
March.
It's every single game up until now has been rescheduled for at least 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous, and I think that Shawnee State in general should be reprimanded.
I agree.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
And I think this is a worst case scenario than what you see with Akron, right? When you see a team like Akron, at least they're just no one's having to reschedule. They're not having to base your schedule around these players. You can just take your free win and go about your merry day, right? They're out of the tournament. They're gone. But then you have Shawnee State, which is just rescheduling things. You have no clue what's going on. You don't even know how they play. You have no VODs to go against them, while they sit back like Batman, just in their Batcave, just prepping for everything, seeing what everyone does. You know, I mean, that is, I don't know. I think that's
it is absolutely shameless, and I will not stand by it. And I
you should go down there.
No.
You should go to Shawnee State and talk to him.
I'll go up to Ohio. I don't care.
What are you gonna tell him?
But
like, listen here, buddy. Put some
because
hammer stuff on the door.
It is just absolutely shameless, and I think everyone should recognize that. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about what actually happened, aside from Shawnee State not happening, because we can expect that every week.
Every single week. Hey, they're consistent.
So
they're consistent. I'll tell you what.
And you know, look, I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
Yeah, keep that one in the brain cage.
Keep that one in the chamber. Anyway, Illinois State getting absolutely dismantled by St. Clair.
Yes,
kind of expected. Yeah.
I mean that's gonna be
5-1, 5-3, 4-3. Nothing really to talk about there. Ole Miss, Burton Parker, a very, very close game. But the Mountaineers. So let's look at these stats.
Yeah, let's look on the standings here.
St. Clair currently 3-0. Maryville currently 3-0. Cannot wait for the day. Actually, can you check when they play each other?
I can.
Akron, and now the crazy thing, and again, here's the problem. Going back to the freaking Shawnee State argument, the rest of the league has not played enough games for us to have any tangible information. Right. So you have three people tied for third place. Two of the teams are 1-1.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that's
WVU 1-1, Akron 1-1, Ole Miss 1-2. A very surprise. Actually, no, I don't think it's surprising because I'm pretty sure it was against St. Clair and Maryville. And then Shawnee State 0-0. I don't even want to mention it. Illinois State 0-2, and then Burton Parker.
So
0-3.
This is if Shawnee State does come through and actually play these games, which so far not so good.
Yeah.
We could see something where you see a team like St. Clair, Maryville, top of the standings. What if someone like Shawnee State comes in and just wins out?
They're not.
But they're not. All this prep time, you've got to build it up for something.
Shawnee
right?
State hasn't been in the Super Conference for 2 years for a reason.
I hope they're
for a
in
reason.
the lab right now.
For a reason. No, I hope they're in the lab, and I hope they get smacked. Anyway,
they get all this. They're really building up the hype for these games. I'll tell you what. I mean, these players, they're making it. I mean, what are they? Didn't they have aren't they scheduled to have a doubleheader or something like that? Triple header. Like what? How is that even?
Yeah, the standings for the Super Conference, you have no idea except for the fact that Maryville and St. Clair are at the top. Yes. Everyone else doesn't matter because Shawnee State likes to reschedule their game.
Oh, and to answer your question earlier, week 6.
Late. That's gonna be that's essentially gonna decide first place.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
so late.
Assuming they both continue to win up until that point, I mean, which I think will indeed happen.
Yeah, and
that week 6 banger.
So late into the season, it's crazy. All right, let's talk about a team again. Shawnee State rescheduled COD.
I think that this guy. Okay, now looking at that, there's multiple games here. It's going to be a org issue, correct? I mean, if there's multiple.
Oh, I know what the issue is. I'm not going to say it on stream because I'm not allowed to, but I know what the issue is. But I'm sorry.
Actually,
wait, hold on.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, what was I looking
at? What are you looking at? I think he just lied to everybody on stream. I think that's what just happened.
No, I swear.
I think he is suffering from a.
No, I am so sorry. Anyway, but if they were in COD, they would reschedule. No, I apologize. It was UNTD. That we.
You just got so worked up earlier. You just started seeing Shawnee State every single team.
I just started seeing red. UNTD had rescheduled. That's fine. We love them. They have a great program over there. Their caster is actually a really funny guy. But UNTD.
Yes.
Mountaineers picked up their first victory, 3-1 against UNTD. The rescheduled match, they had a doubleheader today. And look, very good stuff. Even though it was against a team that we are probably expecting to be at the bottom of the leaderboard at the end of the season in UNTD, picking up the win is important.
Yeah, I mean, just help the record a little bit, get yourself up there, get out of the bottom barrel of teams.
And then they go against the number 1 seed, Oklahoma Christian.
Yeah, so really
get
a bit of a switch up there.
Yeah, but again, look, I don't really expect this squad to beat Oklahoma Christian.
No, I don't think anybody.
I don't think anybody expected them to. But looking at it, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, though, quite the switch up there, going from arguably one of the worst teams to the best.
I will say, aside from Hardpoint, Look at that.
Yeah, I
Search
mean,
and destroy.
Search and Destroy is 6-5.
Went the distance.
Yeah.
So very impressive, and they were able to take a control map off of them. So
that Hardpoint was
nothing-
rough. I'll tell you
nothing
what.
to hang your heads on there. Conestoga beat Keanu, and St. Clair. That is actually a very important thing to look at. St. Clair beating
3-0.
Cumberland 3-0.
Let's look, yeah, let's
That's a
dive
game
into
that you really would have expected to be a lot closer.
see. This,
and it
this is
simply
crazy.
wasn't.
This game was not as close as the WU
Yeah.
Oklahoma Christian
Not
game.
even
I mean,
close.
250-76. That is closer on hardpoint wise, but
Yeah,
the
but
two other
only
games, but
30
like,
points.
yeah, exactly. Like, who cares, right? But then you look at Search and Destroy 6-3,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
then
then
3-0
Control 3-0.
control.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that Cumberland squad was a team that had their way with the Mountaineers, essentially. And then Akron beating UNTD. So I believe that puts UNTD completely defeated.
yeah, UNTD is 0-3 right now.
Yeah,
Big
so
movement on the
But
the
that means
schedule.
the Mountaineers currently tied for 5th with Conestoga.
Yeah.
So if they're able to come out in that Conestoga match, then we could see the Mountaineers in a solid 5th place.
Yeah,
Actually,
not too shabby.
no, 4th place.
4th place, yeah, 4th place.
That'd be awesome.
Middle of
That'd
the
be
road.
absolutely
Actually, well,
great.
yeah.
And that's playoffs, baby.
Yeah, that is
So-
playoffs. You're pulling a Pittsburgh Steelers there, just making your way in barely, and then maybe getting eliminated later on, but
Yeah.
you're making it in the playoffs. I'll tell you what. So
And I will say, I did have the pleasure of actually watching the game against UNTD,
Mm.
and Strike really coming into his own, and
Yeah.
Ethan starting to be that leader that we need him to
yes,
be. Very, very impressive. Pardon me.
just wake up earlier.
A little bit. But that win against and you have to
UNTD, yeah, I
hold
pulled up
yeah,
here.
go.
Losing that first match on hardpoint seems to be a classic Mountaineer struggle.
Well,
I mean,
and it's interesting because Hardpoint was easily their most dominant map type last semester.
and then it's just been a
and-
little 180 here.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what happens when you have half the roster change.
that is true. Yeah, a lot of changes coming in there, and then obviously taking one on Search and Destroy, and then Control, and then finally swapping the script a little bit, taking the last one on Hardpoint, switching up things there, and obviously they ended up working because coming out with the win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, against a team who, like you said, you are expected to beat,
Mhm.
but still beating them regardless is good, even if it is I don't want to say a gimme win, but it is a win that you are definitely expected to take. You'll take it regardless,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then going up against the best team, arguably in, the Super Conference. I
Yeah.
mean,
And then we will look forward in crystal ball, but
Mhm.
next week is going to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But to wrap up this league ladder segment, let's talk about what I would consider to probably be the most disappointing
yeah, no, I would definitely
team
agree. It's
currently.
my favorite as well.
Mountaineer Valorant lost 2-0 to St. Clair in
Yep.
what was quite literally the closest
Yes.
it could have been.
It was literally down to the wire for both games,
An
and
overtime in game 1 on Lotus and a 13-11 loss on
Mhm.
Haven. And I just really think that those small mistakes added up to
yes, I agree.
a singular round loss that would have been wins.
Yep.
Overall win for the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers could have very well 2-0'd this.
Oh,
year.
100%. I mean, both games,
Could've
like
very-
you said,
could've
coming
very well.
down literally 2 rounds between the teams, and I mean, it's that I think hurts more as a loss.
Yeah.
When you're so close, and especially
Mhm.
in a situation where you really need that win.
Oh, absolutely.
You-
Because next week is Maryville.
Yeah,
after
and
that
then
is
so you
Winthrop.
basically, I mean, I don't know. Going into Maryville, you like to want to at least have a win on your schedule.
Yeah.
Have some sort of confidence, because going against a team like that, you're definitely it's a tall feat. It's a tall tale. But I mean, yeah, not great there. I don't have anything to throw. You're gonna have to pull something.
Emma, you want to walk just like relatively in that direction?
Can't keep the lights on, I guess. Just
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Hey, let's go.
But I just being on the cast,
Mhm.
I was here for like 4 hours. It was a 2-hour, 48-minute stream. It
Right.
was an absolute marathon, not only for us but for the guys downstairs too. And you just really would have liked to walk out of there with a win.
At least a round. At least getting one match, or not a
Yeah.
round. It needs to be a
Yeah,
match.
the Mountaineers
Getting
have not
one.
The Mountaineers have not
No.
won a map.
So it is currently just. I mean,
Not only 0-3 but 0-6. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you, this Super Conference is really boring. We've seen one game go to
Yeah.
map 3.
it's been a lot of blowouts. I mean, it's just it seems to me as if every single match
mhm.
you're going into it, and you're kind of after that first match, you're kind of saying, all right, I can see.
Yeah,
where
and
this is gonna
I
go.
will say an interesting win here is University of St. Thomas actually beat Winthrop. So that gives me a lot of hope for that Winthrop game with the Mountaineers, 13-10, 13-5 respectively for that game.
Right.
And then Maryville just absolutely dismantling Oklahoma Christian, and I don't think anybody expected otherwise. 13-4 and 13-9.
Yeah, that is insane there.
Yeah, very
And then
important.
obviously
And then
that's-
Cumberland versus Fisher was rescheduled to a later date. But it's again, just looking at this, it's just so boring.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, you have Maryville 3-0, St. Clair 3-0. Looks very eerily similar to the Rocket League Super Conference.
it does. That is true. It does
So
look
when those
quite-
two teams play each other, again, it's going to be a bit.
Wait, let's see. Yeah,
I was gonna
let's
say,
say
go ahead.
I'm already
So-
ahead of it. I got
And then you have Fisher 2-0, Cumberland 1-1, University of St. Thomas, and then the Mountaineers and Oklahoma Christian currently tied for last.
Funnily enough, in both Rocket League and now
play week
Val, they're playing week 6. So gonna be a fun week.
Again, that's going to be a big decider. However, if this Mountaineer squad is going to have any hopes of the playoffs, they need to start winning.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. I mean, like you said though,
Look, you can get into the playoffs 4-3, but
yeah. So
you need to be 4-3.
yes, and
which
currently you are going to
wins
have to
win out against Maryville and Winthrop. I think that Winthrop
So-
game is very, very winnable. That Maryville game is going to be a tough.
But I mean, but looking at it, if you do end up winning out, I would love to start out that streak against a team like Maryville. I mean, imagine that. You know,
absolutely.
you start off 0-3. The first game that you win is against a team that no one is thinking you're going to win,
Yeah.
and you just snowball the rest of the season off that confidence.
You know,
Hey,
I
continue.
think I look, every single one of these games is winnable. It's just some execution issues
Yes.
that we've seen, and
The ideas are
Yeah,
there a
it would
lot
be
of
good.
times. It's just when you execute it, they don't go as planned, you
Yeah.
know, and you see, like you said, minor mistakes that in the grand scheme of things lose you like 5 or 6 rounds, which would mean
Yeah.
a victory in the end, especially when these games are so close. I mean, they're down to the wire. And
the kicker on Lotus was an incredibly slow start on defense.
yes,
They won one round in what I believe was 10. They won 1 in 10 rounds, and then they were able to win the last 2. You would have liked to see 1 or 2 more sprinkled in there because that means you avoid overtime and you win.
Mhm,
Because
yeah.
they absolutely were cooking on
They were cooking.
offense.
yes.
And then on Haven, just at the end of the game, it got sloppy.
Mhm.
It got real sloppy, and that's not what you want to see. However, hopefully in the next coming weeks they can fix up some of those things. So let's climb down the league ladder and send it to a little bit of a break. And when we come back, Luke is going to have the chance to sit down with your just absolutely not even
insane
close
performance.
player of the week, Emma, and talk about her semester and how she's been doing, and also just anything else that you want to talk
Yeah,
about.
just get a little insight.
All right, so we'll be right back on the other side of this break.
Welcome back to These Country Roads. To my left, we have an insane player, Emma, on here for the first time, I believe.
First time, yeah.
Hello, yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello, I'm Emma. Play on the for the WV Lotus team. Been playing Rocket League for it's been 6 years now, 5, 6
Wow,
years.
that's a
Time
while.
flies. Yeah, I've been playing competitively in the women's leagues, and been playing on this roster for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Yeah.
So speaking of those 2 years that you were obviously on this roster last year, a different roster from this year now.
Yeah.
You have Yak transitioning into this this pool. So how do you kind of approach something like that? Getting a new teammate, you scrim with this person a lot. Now they're off the roster. You get somebody new in. How do you kind of acclimate that to your play style?
I would say at first you just kind of everyone plays their own way and you try to adapt to each other as best as you can, which in a weird way made us play a lot better at first because we didn't have a set play style. So last semester we kind of just were all over the place. We were all just kind of doing our own thing. We were playing off individual strength, which got us to the point we got to. And then especially this semester we've been working a lot on a play style, team play, working with each other, playing around each other, and that made it so that the start of the semester was a little bit rocky and didn't go as well as we wanted it to.
Right.
But I think now we're starting to see the fruit of that. Like we're starting to play better. Everything is just
everything's kind of
going
coming together.
Yeah,
And I mean,
our ceiling will be much higher.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So,
speaking of that, though, I mean, the game was insane, especially your performance, obviously, against St. Clair, a team who had knocked you out last semester of that quarterfinal. So, yeah, to come back to beat them in that fashion, especially, I mean, kind of off your back, 7 goals in that game. So, how does it feel to get that revenge?
Feels very good. Yeah. I think it especially feels very good because we've been working so hard, and to see that our work is paying off and we can win a series like this now instead of losing it, that feels very good. Yeah.
As well, obviously, 7 goals, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
So you had 3 in that first game.
Yeah.
Were you kind of keeping any mental track, like, all right, I got a hat trick, let's go for another one, or are you just playing your game?
No, I have my stats off. I didn't even know I scored a hat trick until after the game was over. No, I don't think anyone on our team looks at it like that. We just play, and the ball just happened to fall where I was 3 times, and that could have been anyone. That could have been Yak. That could have been Hera. That could have been anyone.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I guess you're not really keeping that in your mind. You're just kind of playing Rocket League, and you have been playing for a very long time as well. And you had said you played in other leagues before this, obviously coming here to WU. How was that change from those type of leagues now to come into collegiate Rocket League?
Oh, it's very different. Other leagues, you play with whoever you want. If it doesn't go well, you get to just switch out a teammate.
Right.
You don't perform 1 week or a big tournament, just find someone else. It's very different where you get to kind of find players that work with your playstyle.
Right.
And in a league like this, and at a stage like this, which is like everything's much bigger, you get the teammates you get, and you have to work with them. You have to find out how you can play well together, and that's very different.
So would you say, like you said, you basically previously you could swap out any players you want? Just okay, this person's not performing very well today. Let's just kind of get them out of the roster. But but now, like you said, having to kind of work with these players and making sure, okay, you're doing your job, I'm doing my job, we're working together as a team. Would you say that kind of maybe helps you out in your solo performance a lot more because you kind of have the expectations of these teammates to perform, or do you think much more team oriented now?
More team oriented, definitely. But it also is. It's good to know that if I make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Just go again next week.
Right.
And it's a different level of stability where I can have a bad period, and I know that my teammates will make up for that, and I know that they will keep working with me, and so it takes a certain amount of pressure off you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. As well, playing Rocket League for a long time. Yeah. You said you had moved to the U.S., correct? So you were originally from Finland, you said?
No, the Netherlands.
Where was it? Netherlands. Okay, excuse me, I'm sorry. So playing on EU servers, you know, then transferring now to NA servers, do you feel any difference at all?
It's very different.
Very different. Like in the play style wise? Okay. Explain it. How is that different?
Is the players you look up to. The big players from EU are very they play very different than the players from NA. And it's very mechanical, very flashy. And EU is very fast and just make a play, get out as quick as you can. And it's not really about like the flashy mechanics. It's more about the team play and the positioning. So yeah, not to say that one is better than the other, but it's different.
Very different, yeah. I mean, like you said, yeah. I feel like, I mean, I don't watch a ton of Rocket League, but from what I've seen, especially highlight-wise, I mean, I feel like NA highlights they're very, like you said, very mechanical, insane. You're doing insane stuff, you know, insane aerials, but then you kind of move to EU and it's just like rapid fire, fast pace, like whole team, like some blitzkrieg stuff. I mean, it's quite insane. But also another transition you've I guess become acclimated to is the transition to WU, you know, the campus, the college life. How do you kind of get used to that? Because I mean, WU it's different for a lot of colleges.
Yeah, it is very different. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of hills. Where I'm from, Netherlands, incredibly flat. We have no hills, no nothing. So that took some getting used to. Walking up and down the hills. Yeah, besides that, I actually adapting to it wasn't as hard as I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just settled into that life easier than expected. I don't know. I don't think there were many big changes I had to make necessarily.
Right.
The biggest change is there's more weight on you in a sense that you don't just go to school to go to school. You have to perform on Rocket League as well. So it's like instead of like being a full-time student, you're a full-time student and have like a full-time job on the side.
For sure.
Which I know that a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
But having said that, there's at least I feel, I might be completely wrong, but I feel that there's a different type of pressure if you work at a Starbucks. A different type of work environment than having to perform in these games.
For sure. I mean, you know, having teammates on your side, you know, trying to improve for them and help the team out because, I mean, nobody wants to be the shortest stick in the squad. You know, you don't want to be that player who's kind of weighing everybody down. But another thing is coming to a facility like this and practicing, doing all your games here and all that stuff. Is that a lot different from this, you know, playing at home in your own environment?
Very different. Yeah. I don't know. I cannot speak for Valorant or COD, but I can speak for myself in Rocket League. You get very, very used to a specific setup. And because Rocket League is very quick and very like mechanical, the slightest turn of a stick can have a very big impact on what the play ends up being. And having like your screen set up in a certain way, your chair a certain height, your controller, like the input delay, like all of these things are slightly different on every single setup. So it takes some getting used to. Yeah.
And then, I mean, also kind of bouncing off that is playing with your players, and they're to your left or to your right. They're right next to you. So do you kind of enjoy that atmosphere a lot more?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot more kind of, I guess, hype, energetic. You know, you see somebody make a great play, you know, just give Yak a little fist pump or something like that.
No, definitely. I think that at first it was very awkward because all of us were kind of used to just playing at home by yourself.
Right.
And having someone next to you, at first it felt like someone was constantly watching over my shoulder.
Yeah.
But once you get used to that and you get more comfortable with each other, it's very good. It's very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And obviously, now moving forward, you know, a solid record, 3-1 on the season, beating a team who, you know, had kicked you guys out last semester. So moving forward in this bracket, how do you expect? I guess, do you think you guys are improving on a lot of the certain mistakes you had made previously in the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see us dropping any more games, honestly. I think we're only gonna do better every single week now.
Right. What do you think is the biggest thing you guys have maybe improved on throughout the season, or just even coming off from last semester as well?
It's the mentality. It's all like we all have the individual skill to like we need to win. It is putting that together, putting that in the context of a team and in the context of what a team needs. And that mentality of like, hey, okay, we did bad. We lost a game we should not have lost. How do you recover from that?
Right.
And the emotion that comes with that, and turning that into motivation, and turning that into a positive in the end, like a learning experience. I think that mentality, and that's something that Josh has helped a lot with. He's very big on the mental side, and he helps us stay calm and composed a lot. So yeah, I think because of that, we've turned that into a positive, and I think that is why we will keep improving.
Right. So you think having somebody here to kind of help you out mentally, like you said, you mentioned Josh helping you out a lot. Obviously, playing somewhere like here, you do have that at your disposal, but playing, at home and like smaller tournaments, just, in your room, there's no one else but your own
it's
head.
just
Just,
you,
it's just you and the computer, and you're just trying to do as best you can.
Yeah.
So now coming here, you have that, I guess, that resource to
Yeah.
help aid your game.
Yeah.
His mentality, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the most important thing, but it's definitely up there.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely. Yeah.
if you
I would
have
say it's
all
like
those
the most
games,
important
yeah,
thing.
no, for sure. So, well, that is going to do us here. I hope to see many more wins coming out of the squad. I mean,
Yeah.
I've commented a couple of them. Very entertaining. Love to see it, and especially a big win for you and the team. 7 goals from you. A big win from the team against a team who
big
had
win.
knocked you out previously. So, going on in the future, going to be very happy to see what's going to happen. But we're going to send it back to a break, I guess, and then we'll come back later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Welcome back. We are back once again. This time, though, got some clips to look at. I mean, it's going to be very entertaining. We have 4 clips from you. We're going to break them down, see your thought process, and just, get a little peer into what's going on, in these clips. So it's going to be very exciting here. Let's go ahead and transition into that. 4 of them, though, all from you. So first one here.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen.
A pretty hefty defensive mistake there. Fortunate there to kind of get out of it scotch-free, but cannot speak too soon quite yet. St. Clair still put on that offensive pressure. West Virginia can have a counterattack out of nowhere. Beautiful. And I don't know if
Yeah, this is a very specific thing we've been working on for a long time. It's the transition from defense to offense, and you can see that how quick we've turned this around from a shot on our net.
Right.
You can see it here. This is a 1 and then a 2 and a 3. It's like just one quick touch and
that was
this was
very
and this is something we've been working on a lot. So like I said, this could have been anyone. This could have been me passing it to here, to it could have been anyone to anyone, and it just happened to be me.
Just right place at the right time, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just good communication and like you can see. I don't know if you can go back in the clip a little bit. Like this is the trust we've developed. Look at if even further to when the ball is going. Yeah, at this moment. Look at where I'm positioned on the right. I'm behind the person that bangs the ball forward, and just the trust that when Jacoby says, "Hey, I'm going for this," that I know where it's going.
Right.
And just full sending it forward. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually talked about that in a couple of games I've commentated over you guys, where trust being such a large factor,
Yeah,
especially when, like you said, balls like this, where this could be anybody, it's really a 3-person job to get this into the goal. You're having this trust to get the rebound. Okay, now break it down the other side of the field, pop it in the goal, but this trust to know, okay, someone's going to be behind me. If I'm going to set this up, I'm going to have, like you said, anybody really, somebody's going to be behind me, setting up for the goal, scoring, and I mean, here tying up the game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in game 1 as well. So having obviously going down 0-1 in the beginning, but then bouncing back, tying it up here. And this was your first of, was it 3 goals in this first game, correct? So, I mean,
Yeah.
pretty insane. But trust being so important for clips like these where, but yeah, back to what I was saying about this trust thing. We had seen, I think it was in the Montevello game.
Okay.
I believe y'all had gone down a little bit, and sometimes the trust might the trust falter a little bit. Maybe someone's not where they should be. A goal gets conceded, and then do you kind of think a little bit negatively at all, like maybe not we're not doing the right things here?
I mean, I think at first, yes. I think that's very natural for anyone to think. Like if you make a mistake that costs your team a goal, I think it's very natural to be disappointed in yourself or be upset or. So yes, does that happen? Yes. Does that still happen? Not as much. We've been practicing this a lot, so like it's becoming second nature now.
Right.
But it's like I didn't do it on purpose. They didn't do it on purpose. It happens.
Just falls into place.
Yeah. How are we gonna come back from this? That's more important.
Okay. So going on to our second clip here now, all from last week, I believe. So going to be very interesting to see these. But like you said, the trust, I mean, obviously very important. Like you said, things just kind of fall into place sometimes. But now this is the same game. So this is the hat-trick game now. Once again, down 1 goal.
Let's see what the Mountaineers are able to do. Still have a 100.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Still have ample time.
This moment.
Wow.
This I want to highlight. This is the moment where the series turned around.
I'll tell you what, when Gabe and I had walked into the facility.
So just coming in and just flipping it in right over the defender as well. So I mean, a very solid move there. But like you said earlier, sometimes some things just fall into place. This could be anybody. In this scenario, do you think once again, whoever just gets this ball, going to do something, I mean, similar? I mean, right here, no assist, just grab it, pop it in. A very fast goal right off kickoff as well to tie it up once again.
Yeah, I think this is the moment where the series turned around because we were, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, down every time up until this point where we equalized. I think we were down 1-0 and then equalized and then down 2-1 and then equalized again. This is, I believe this is the point where the series turned around because when you go into a game like this where you've lost in the past, where you know how strong the opponents are, and you go down, it's easy to think, oh, here we go again. Are we going to lose again? And this moment when we scored this goal, I remember specifically Kayla or Hera was going wild. She was like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. I want to kiss you," or something like that. Like it's those types of things that you need to bring that energy to
positive vibes.
Yeah. And it makes everyone feel good. And it's like that hype moment that we have as a team where we're like, oh my God, we scored. It's not I scored. It's not I did this. No, it's like we did this. We scored.
Right.
And I think from this moment forward, I think we started playing a lot more as a team and we believed that we could win. And this is the moment where we're like, no, we are winning this.
Yeah, we are going to win this game.
I
mean, but like you said, though, both of these goals from these two clips have been equalizers, So down a goal, you need to tie it up, come through as a team, like you said, kind of bringing the entire team up with just positive vibes, I mean, they're sitting to your left, to your right. You have everybody kind of around you. It's very team oriented, obviously, 3 people on this field and you're just trying to, I mean, like this one, not necessarily, there's no passes going on here, but it's still a team goal. So
no, it is a team goal. It's definitely a team goal. It's nothing flashy. It's just a good kickoff.
Yeah.
and a flick. Like it's very simple, but it's the simple things that win you games.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, and then simple mistakes that can also, in turn,
Yeah,
lose you
definitely.
games. So, but
Yeah.
going on to clip 3 here. I mean, a lot of clips from you right now. I mean, honestly, a fantastic performance all in all. When you come out of these games, are you kind of like, are you really thinking like, wow, like I just played amazing there, or are you more like, you know, just only looking team oriented?
It's only team oriented,
Mhm.
but when you look back at the games and you go over like things like, okay, what could I have done differently, or
Right.
like where can you what can you learn from this, then okay, then it's a moment to sit and be like, wow, I think I played very well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so clip 3 now.
Yeah.
This is now game 3, tied up here.
Okay. Yeah.
Our demolition girl, and now streaking through the air.
Yak off the top. It's not quite there.
So close, but the Mountaineers realized that if they were to pursue that,
And that was a
longer-
great awareness there from
Yeah.
Kira, knowing that she could not get there in time. It says plays for the deflection, and now this counterattack is going to kind of keep going here. Western Union still trying to press the advantage. 2 minutes remaining here. Still tied at 1.
Wow.
Yeah. This
Second
comes back to that
finds
trust
it.
again.
And
Yes,
then
for
look
sure.
At this pass from Jacobi.
A beautiful
This is
pass from
exactly
Yak
what I'm
there.
talking- I'm sorry, that's Hira. Look at that.
Oh, it's Hero.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
You
Yeah,
cannot
this
write
is
it up.
this is a
For
big
demolition.
trust thing again. This is that you can see it. It's a play where I would say if this was a few months ago, if we had just started the team and we hadn't been working on these things, that's
Right.
a ball. Any of us would just solo play, take it to the air. Like you can see the setup. It's very clear. There's a direct line to net. You can take
Mhm.
it solo, but the trust from Kayla or Hira to stay upfield there and call for that pass, and the fact that as well, like I make that pass there, she trusts that I will,
Mhm.
and she is composed enough to not panic there. She doesn't know where the opponent is at that moment because all she can see is the incoming ball. She doesn't know what's happening on the
Right.
other side of her. Trusting that my call of hey, it's a free touch,
Mhm.
give it back, and that she doesn't panic or try to shoot this herself, or no, she's just composed and
Mhm.
and just gives it back, and it looks so simple, and it really is very simple, but it's because it's so simple in these high pressure moments, you don't even think to do it because
Right,
it's like
just kinda
no, this
comes
is too
naturally, yeah.
simple. And it's working on those things and working on the trust to know that you can actually simplify things like this sometimes.
Right.
That's what we've been working on, and that's it shows, and it's very effective. Again, it's like these simple 1-2 moments that win the game. Well, I mean, this one we lost, but you know what I mean. Like those win
Yeah,
games.
winning overall for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, this I think is a textbook. I mean, team goal. Yak winning the
Yeah.
1v1. You know,
Yeah.
popping it up into the air, then coming across. You pass it over to Hira.
Yeah.
Hira passing it right back to you for a. I mean, a beautiful setup. So
Yeah.
when you're going down the right side of the field there, are you calming to Hira? Okay, so they're over there in the corner. Touch to you. Touch back to me.
Yeah.
Set up
Yeah,
easy.
this is a
Perfect.
moment. So I see this coming towards me,
Mhm.
and she's already telling me that the ball, like she's free on the right side, and I'm telling her, okay, I'm gonna hit this ball to you, and I'm the second I hit it to her, my communication there is like hit it back, hit it back,
Right.
and she does, and it's I don't know, it's so funny looking back at these things because they're so much slower when you look back, like
Yeah.
than when it's in the moment. Like in the moment, it feels so.
It just feels
quick.
like instantaneously
Yeah,
happening.
but like when you look at it now, it's like that's actually not that quick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in those moments, obviously, everything's heightened a lot more,
Yeah.
going up. Up
Mhm.
2-0 at this point in the match or in the
Yeah.
series. So trying to close it out.
Yeah.
This game, obviously, in the end, did drop, but then, coming back in that fourth one and closing it out. But I mean, yeah, a beautiful team goal here. Like you were saying, trust so important, especially in a game like Rocket League where, I mean, like you said, it feels so fast. You just have to just
Mhm.
trust your teammates on a dime, basically, to be able to set you up for moments like this. I mean, just a beautiful pass for sure. But heading on now into clip 4, I believe our final clip
Ooh, let's
as
see which
well.
one it is. I
So,
have two in my mind that it could be.
okay, are you thinking maybe one more than the other, or?
I'm thinking the one that we're gonna show, because there was one solo play
Mhm.
and there was one pass into a shot.
Okay.
So given that the other ones have been passes and shots, I think that's the last one we're gonna go over again.
Okay. We're
But
going
I
to have to
might
see.
surprise.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a surprise, maybe it's neither. I don't know. We'll have to see here.
Yes, it is.
It is. I mean, yeah, it is a great guess there. So
Yeah.
2-2 tied up
See,
here
the Mountaineers
in
are
game
able to take
4.
their first lead of this game 4,
I think that was the winning
And
goal
what
as
could
well.
be
I believe it
the
was the
winning lead,
3-2
but again, they
final,
did
I
not
believe.
give up
So
another goal. That's again, you said something that's been so plaguing this team is the quick goal.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, I'm gonna
So
say the same
really,
thing
a
again.
great
yeah,
setup and
I mean,
header
but, I mean, in this one you can
off
see.
the
I mean,
top crossbar,
Yeah.
back
obviously,
into the net. A
right? I mean,
great
right in the
pass
top
from
there, but
Hira.
Goal
you're
number
able to just get up
7
so
of the
high
day
in the
from us.
perfect spot just to
Yeah.
give it a little touch, just to guide it right into the goal. I mean,
Yeah.
almost didn't even go in, but finding its way in. I
Yeah.
guess through, was it the top cross, I believe, the crossbar. Had to watch it one more time.
I think it was crossbar down.
I think it was too. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
perfect there. So
Yeah.
game-winning goal as well. Obviously, this game ending
Yeah.
3-2 to close the series out, to not go into a game 5, which would not be great
Yeah.
after going up 2-0. Then you had the idea in the back of your mind, okay, let's not get
Yeah.
reverse swept here. That'd be horrible, worst case scenario. So I mean, thought process here. I mean, I know you said like you're probably gonna say the same things a lot of times, because I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these goals are just built on the same foundations. But
I
here,
mean, this
going
one
up
had
in
a
the
little
air.
bit more going on.
Yeah.
Uh, I have to go as quick as I can because I don't know if anyone's up. I don't see anyone. I don't know who's behind me. Like, as in when I say behind me, since I'm the way I'm going up, behind me would be their goal. I don't know
Right.
if anyone's on the backboard. I don't know if anyone's up to challenge.
Mhm.
So the very first thing I need to do is go as quick as I can, and then rely on the comm from Kayla or Yak to tell me, hey, is anyone up? And if the way I'm going up for that is like, if they tell me someone's up, I'm gonna hit it high and go for a double.
Right.
But because they told me no one's up, that means that they're probably not in a good position to defend, or
Mhm.
would have gone. So I'm just trying to hit that on target and hit it like in a tough spot to get to, and it actually ended.
And it did find its way in, which is a huge goal, especially in the moment. I'm only a minute left there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see here, Hira hitting it up, right in the air. So
Mhm.
y'all are the whole time you're communicating. Okay,
Yeah.
do I go for this double tap to try to set somebody up behind me, or am
Yeah.
I just trying to knock this thing in?
Yeah.
Where was Yak in this clip? I believe probably getting some
He
boost,
was-
most likely.
Yeah, I think he had just challenged, which
Mhm.
gave Kayla this free ball. If I'm not mistaken, at least I think he challenges there. He's challenging that ball, and it falls to, I think, to Kayla now. Yeah.
And then it's right up in the air. Beautiful
Yeah.
pass, beautiful shot. But like you said, once again, for somebody who maybe doesn't watch Rocket League as much, you see a clip like this, you're thinking, oh, this is all you. You went up in the air for that. It's a beautiful play.
Yeah.
You knocking it in. But then when you kind of zoom out a little bit and analyze, you'll see, like you said, Yak able to basically set up the position for this play to even happen, and then
exactly.
Hira calming up in the air to you to knock it down. Don't set it up for anything. Just
Yeah.
put it in the goal and
Yeah.
end this game right here. But
Yeah.
I mean, a beautiful team play once again. Like you said, the team kind of really coming into its own right now. I mean,
Yeah.
just coming together. It's been, amazing to watch, really.
Yeah, it's felt amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Going from a space where, like, this is what we've been wanting to do the entire time. These are the things that we want to do. Like, obviously, everyone wants to have that moment where they have the ball back in their own half, and they
Mhm.
and they outplay 3 people and they put it into the top corner. Like, everyone dreams of that moment, but
Right.
no, these are the moments that win you games. These are the things that we've been working on and wanting to do. Like, these very quick transitions. This is what we've been wanting to do, and we all are good enough to do this.
Right.
We all have the skill to do this. Like, every single person on our team can hit that ball forward like that. Every single person can score it.
Yes.
It's putting those pieces together that we struggled with, and it's very frustrating that you know that you can do it, but it's
Mhm.
somehow not working. Like, you're not
Right.
able to perform, I suppose, on the spot, like on the moment. And it's frustrating, and it's annoying, but sticking with it, trusting that if you keep working, eventually you'll get there.
Yeah.
And it just feels really good when it all comes together in like a big game like this.
So, like you said, moments like these, you guys have been
Mhm.
wanting these to come together.
Yeah.
You've been really trying to focus on moments like this to
Yeah.
happen. So when you guys are scrimming, you guys are practicing together,
Yeah.
what are you guys focusing on the most? Are you focusing on plays like this where you guys are setting each other up, or how does that kind of go
Yes and
about?
no. When we practice, we don't focus on winning as much.
Hmm.
We just focus on fixing the mistakes and fixing the disconnects that happen.
Right.
And the disconnects happen a lot in moments like these.
Helen's currently dancing
Okay.
off screen.
Okay, but yeah, disconnects happen a lot in these moments because it seems very simple now if you look at it. Okay,
Yeah.
just all she has to do is fly up, hit the ball forward. All I have to do is fly up, hit the ball forward.
Right.
But it's it's how quick Jacoby challenges that.
Mhm.
So they only have one place to put that ball.
Yeah.
It's the recognition from Kayla and that she can hit this ball if she's quick and she can hit it to me. There's no panic. There's the recognition. Okay, I need to challenge this quick. I need to hit
Right.
this quick. I need to be up quick. It's those types of things, but then not only knowing you have to go fast, but then executing it well too. Like those are, yeah, that's hard to do.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know I could not do anything even close to this. But you know, like watching it from my POV, it is a beautiful shot. Like you said, it does look simple when you're kind of looking at it like, oh, just hit it up right there, okay.
Yeah.
But then you think about the comms, you're thinking about
Yeah.
what the player can actually see, because obviously when I'm seeing something, I'm kind of seeing the entire field. I'm not seeing from a one cone kind of point of view. So you guys are relying on each other for basically eyes on the entire field to see who's doing what, who's rotating where.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's a team game at the end of the day, so the
Yeah,
team has to
it
come
is.
together for at least something like this to happen. And right here, it definitely did. So we are going to send it once again to a break, and when we come back, I believe we have the hot topic. So
Ooh.
be very excited to see that.
Yeah.
So catch you guys then. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Oh my God, wait, I'm Emma? I'm shit. I scored 7 goals against
So how
things
was
like
this
that.
going
It was
on?
honestly
Yeah?
pretty great.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, honest, like actually as me though, I can't play Rocket League for for my life. If you told me, gun to my head, score a goal in a competitive game of Rocket League, you find me on the floor. I swear, it's bad. But we're back, and it's time for what has slowly began to be a favorite is Hot Seat.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we were not given one, so we had to think of one. But with someone who has recently come overseas, we're gonna
Yep.
do what country has the best food. So, it looks like you want to start us off. So you go ahead. If you say the Netherlands, I'm gonna smack
I
you.
want to start off saying I know which country has the worst food.
And England.
The Netherlands.
Whoa.
It's bad.
Explain.
Like dry potato and dry vegetables. That is our national meal.
I don't think I necessarily hate dry vegetables and dry potatoes.
That's
What
it.
do you
No
mean
seasoning.
dry? Oh, no seasoning.
Like overcooked. Yes.
So
Overcooked.
just like straight out the garden, just pick them up, eat it. Okay.
Yes. People eat that shit 5 times a week. 5 times a week. Anyway.
Like what if we were to hop on a plane right now and go to your home in the Netherlands, what would we be eating first meal there?
So the best answer is don't eat anything. But if you had to, and if you you would probably most likely have some broccoli with no seasoning, some overcooked potatoes, and a slab of meat.
Okay.
Interesting.
So like dessert wise though, what? Yeah. So we finished that
Dessert?
amazing
What
meal.
does that mean?
Oh, okay. So this is a bad start. Bad start
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
bad.
Well, if it's not the Netherlands, what do you think it is?
Italy.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh. Well, here's the thing.
Italy and Japan, I would say. Sushi.
I don't know if I go Japan. I think I go China. If I'm doing Asian,
Okay, no, okay, I see that. I see that.
Thai food. Thai
Okay,
food's
we can all
bomb.
agree that
Thai food's
Italy
bomb.
has just the most best thing.
well,
Pizza, pasta.
okay, pasta was invented in China. Let's not.
Okay,
Noodles were invented in China.
But are you gonna argue that pasta is not Italian? Is that what you're saying? Pasta is not
I'm
Italian.
not saying it's not Italian.
Okay,
I'm
so-
just saying that we shouldn't be crediting pasta to the Italians when it was not created there.
Okay, but then we shouldn't credit any food to any place because we all came from Africa.
Yeah, fine by me.
Okay, Africa wins.
Africa wins. All right. Anyway, that's gonna be this set. No, but I don't know because I feel like when you talk about South American food, it's a very refined. It's just a very refined palate. I feel like you need an appreciation for certain types of food to appreciate South American food,
Yeah.
which I do.
Okay.
So
That's a good point.
like that, I don't know. That puts it up there for me. Look, don't get me wrong. I worked in an Italian restaurant for 6 years. Like, I
Yeah,
love.
but it's American.
He was
Italian
sneaking meatballs
food,
in the
though.
back. 100%.
Huh?
But that's American Italian food.
Not really. The owners were from Italy. Like,
You still make it with like ingredients you get from America,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
still different.
I suppose I have never been to Italy.
I went every single year for
well-
my entire life, so
Hey, I've been to Florida. I used to live in Florida.
I've been to the Caribbean. I've never been over to EU. I was supposed to, then COVID happened. I was supposed to go to Ireland, and then
of all places.
what?
That's another topic for
It
another
was with,
day.
it was with band. Yeah, talk about it. This is where you get.
This
What's
is
your
where I
band?
get to say this. Okay, if you're gonna go to any place in Europe, why Ireland?
It was with the marching band, and
that
that was
makes
we got invited.
You know, the fair. Okay, that
Like
okay,
they were like,
that's a good
hey,
excuse.
because we just won our national championship. Shout out,
Mhm.
and they were like, come teach our kids how to do marching band.
Okay.
So
That's a good excuse.
and you do a trip. So like we do an internet. My high school does an international trip so the band, orchestra, and the choir go internet, but like they rotate it, and then one's an off year. So every 4 years, whatever you do goes on a trip.
Okay.
Excuse me. And it was our year.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to line up with that, and Ireland was the choice there.
Okay, that's fine.
But my brother, who is now in marching band, is going to Puerto Rico. So he's going though in April. I've been to Puerto Rico.
I have never had South American food in my life. It was Mexican food until I came to America, and it is quickly becoming probably one of, if not my favorite foods.
It's awesome.
I'd like to do this. I think we should all go around and give our top 3. No order in particular.
Okay.
I think whatever kind of comes up the most, we should kind of elect as our
Okay.
number 1. Or here, we'll do this. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Do a
Mhm.
little point-based system. See our average between us. To see
Okay.
what we can elect as the best one. Okay, so I'll start us off. Fine. I'll start off. I'll do number 3 first. Okay. I'm gonna go Mexican food number 3. Mexican food is pretty solid. I mean, it's a classic. I used to live in Florida a lot, so I would just hit up the Mexican joints down there, and they were good. This guy can't handle it. He probably his little stomach just cannot get a bean. I mean,
you don't appreciate it.
oh, it's better more than that. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were saying I don't
Mine
appreciate
is
it. Like,
from later.
my bad. Okay, number 2. I'm gonna go Japan. I love sushi. I'm a big sushi guy. Now see, okay, this is a case of, were you born, raised, everything West Virginia? Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, Pennsylvania, not much better when it comes to. Yeah. Okay. So but I was saying, because I was in Florida, and the Japanese food down there, like the sushi and stuff, was like way better. I don't know how. Maybe imports. I have no clue. There was like,
I
there's
mean,
a
it's near the water. Like,
yeah,
they have
exactly.
fresh
So you could grab
That
some
makes a big difference.
exactly.
So think of Florida. I know no one can hear me right now, but when I think of Florida, I think like more Hispanic.
Yes, and because that's why I think the Mexican food also down there was really good, but also fresh seafood. So the sushi was bomb. You come here and it's just not so bomb. It's pretty. It's
Well, we could get the Monongahela River. We could.
yeah. I mean, have you seen the fish in there? I mean, I think they're. Ooh, I don't know. And then number 1, I'm gonna go Italy. I think Italy. I think I mean, it's just, they're so like Japan. You think sushi. When I think Mexican, I think of also a lot of many great things. So when I think Italy, I think everything that they basically have there is just good. It's just all around.
Hard agree.
All right, so going on.
So number 3 for me is gonna be Chinese. I'm gonna put them right there. I think that they have a lot more. I don't know. I like it. I like their food a lot more. It's a lot more fulfilling than Japanese food. I feel like, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Right. When I think of Japanese food, I think of like ramen bowls, and I think of sushi. I don't really think of those as like full hearty meals. Yeah, things like that. But when I think of Chinese food, I think of just the absolute influence that they've had over the entire Asian culture in general.
Yeah.
Number 2, gotta be all kinds of South American. I am not going to just restrict it to Mexican or Puerto Rican, because I have had Guatemalan food, I've had Puerto Rican food, I've had food from even, and I will say, sneaky little thing, Caribbean. Oh my goodness gracious. If you have never had Caribbean jerk chicken in the Caribbean, you're missing out. It is absolutely outstanding.
I would say that I'm pretty sure the Caribbean and Mexico are not South.
No, I
South American as in.
no, okay, I'm aware, but I'm saying, okay, you know what I mean when I say that. I mean Hispanic and South American culture in general. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Texas,
that
you know?
works.
That one.
So, but I'm not going to confine it to that, because, well, also I said sneaky little. I wasn't saying the Caribbean was South American.
I love all South American food. We're not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna go. You said Mexico, as in like one of the first ones. I mean, hey, college isn't for everybody sometimes, but I mean.
You're literally a freshman. Shut up.
Shots.
Yeah. Anyway, how's sharing a shower? Yeah. So sorry. I'm sorry you had to see that. Anyway. That's my number 2. American, no, it's gonna be Italy, number 1. I feel like American food does get highly underrated though, and people are like, Oh, well, what do you mean American food? American culture exists. I promise you it does. You don't think it does because you're a bigot. Anyway, go ahead.
Why did I feel like you were trying to say that to me?
I didn't no, that wasn't directed towards anyone. That wasn't directed towards anyone.
Okay, moving on. Number 3,
Burger King.
probably going to be, I would say Japanese food. Number 3. Say number 2. It's gonna be Mexican food,
Okay, so you
and
just
number
switched that
1
is Italian.
is Italian.
Okay, so Italian number. So
I think- Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh, Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our 2s and 3s differ a little bit. You guys actually
Yes.
just switched yours. Mine is
Yeah.
completely different.
I have a reason for swapping it though.
please, explain.
Sushi is my favorite food, but just because one thing is my favorite food, I cannot put it at number 1.
Because it's in
So
Yeah.
whenever I mentioned how Italy kind of had a lot of just like
Yeah.
overall, that's kind
Mhm.
of the same thing with Japan, where it's like sushi is so good, but then like, all right, what else we got going on here?
Yeah,
I mean, like
exactly.
that's about it. But then I don't know. To me, like I just like it so much that it kind of does outweigh. But I could definitely see a Mexico just popping out there in number 2. And then
Yeah.
apparently, like my favorite South American place of Mexico, according to the Kellen, great food there for sure. I mean, overall, just so many good things coming in, and also American food, Southern food, bomb, really good.
Yeah, like Southern food. I think of like Maine lobster, things like that. The Northeast, yeah, dude. Like we're
Never had
talking
any of
about
those.
good old. Give me
Josh,
give me a
get on that,
freaking
Josh.
barbecue.
Or someone give me a show where I try American foods.
Yes, I'll do it. We'll do it right here.
Yes. End of the semester.
And we'll do it for the 24-hour stream. Day of Giving, we'll do it.
Yes,
We'll have
okay,
Emma try
yeah.
American foods.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, give me a freaking barbecue. Give me a rack of ribs. Give me a cheeseburger. Yeah, some slaw. Oh, have you had coleslaw?
Nope.
Oh, tell Grammy to cook up the slaw.
I have
tell
had
Gam-
mashed
tell Gam Gam.
potatoes.
Huh?
I have had American mashed potatoes.
Yeah, probably
Very,
better than your
very-
dry ass potatoes in the
Oh, right.
Netherlands.
So much better. Not even close.
Pick it up, just like an apple.
The Irish were probably jealous during the famine. And
Anyway,
No, but
thank
like-
you for watching.
we'll get so yeah. Oh my god, I want to go get coleslaw right now. But no, you don't want to. You don't buy coleslaw. You get coleslaw made. My uncle makes a mean bowl of slaw. Do you know? Okay, do you know what coleslaw is? It's essentially like cabbage, tomato, and onions with like mayonnaise. I know.
It actually sounds good.
Yeah, it's outside. Hold on, let's look up some. Mira, pull up some pictures of coleslaw.
Please.
Mira, pull up a picture of coleslaw for us, please. It is so good. You put it on a burger. You ever had coleslaw on a burger? Sorry, I had to get you taller.
Yeah, because you were hating on me. I swear I'm not sure. I don't know what the EU genes are going on over here. I know, but you're from Philadelphia. You probably have something in your
Guys.
bloodline. I don't trust that.
Okay.
You have some. You're made in the lab. You're from Philly. I don't
I'm 5'6".
No, that is coleslaw.
It looks good. You
And
forgot to
it is-
mention carrots.
And no, I said carrots.
You
I
said
said
onions.
cabbage. I said cabbage, onions, and carrots.
You said onions.
I definitely said-
tomatoes.
Tomatoes. But yeah, it's really good because you can have it as a side or you could have it as a topping.
Uh-huh.
Delicious. Everyone, oh god, that
It
slaw
looks
looks so good. Dude, I haven't eaten today.
Oh, my favorite food. You can name anything. Oh, no, that. No, I want.
Well, that's not my favorite food. I'll tell you, like that. My favorite food, it's any kind. I don't know actually. It's the Kraft SpongeBob mac and cheese from the box. But
Okay.
no, that's not. It'll probably be salmon. Yeah, probably salmon.
know
But like cooked, has to be cooked. Has to be cooked. Oh my god, I'm still Emma. But yeah, shout out 76ers, you suck. Yeah, like, is there any American food that you've heard of that like you want to try?
lobster.
You've never had a lobster before?
Nope. I've never had ribs. I've had a burger though.
Oh my god.
On stream, please.
What? Sorry.
I have had a burger, but I've had an American burger actually. Burgers I've had back home were bad.
Yeah.
Burgers
EU
I've had
burgers are
here,
disgusting.
Very good.
There's actually a place. I don't know if you've been here. I think it's actually, it might be a PA thing. It's Burgatory. You've been to Burgatory? Yes. Burgatory is the best burger you will ever have. That's not
You
just
were about
like
to remind me.
poke
It's a
from your
Red
uncle.
Rose burger place where you drive, you park there, and they like bring it to you. No,
Are they on rollerblades?
no.
Can we get Kellen? Can we get Kellen on a pair of rollerblades, please? I would love
it
that.
Was it was in Washington State. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
drive-thrus exist.
Well, it wasn't a drive-through. It was like
Like a diner.
Yeah, you go and you park.
no. You stay in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how all drive.
But like, are you saying
No,
like
no,
like
you
no no like I
drive
think
through the drive-through. It was a literal parking place where you just go in, you park, you stand still, and then you.
there's a
order and
place
you
like
get
that.
into
There's a place like that at Marshall.
You park, right?
Uh-huh.
And then there's a board with the menu on
Yeah.
it, and you order.
And it's Sonic.
With a big red button.
No.
I'm Fran
I
Sonic.
think you're talking. It's some kind of Sonic.
Is there a hedgehog?
In
I don't-
Morgantown.
Maybe I don't.
Mira, pull up a picture of Sonic.
Pull a
don't
picture of
think- I
Sonic for
don't
us,
think it
please.
was. It
Not
was
the
something-
hedgehog,
it was
please.
something burger. I'm gonna message my roommate.
Because like you are describing Sonic to a T right now.
No big red button though.
Yeah, the big red button.
No man, no girl falling on her rollerblades as you watch your food spill on the cement.
The last time I've had Sonic come out on rollerblades.
You mean going on the wrong ones? I don't know what to tell you.
Doesn't. Yeah. Well, but I feel
Burger Master.
never heard of it.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, but it sounds like Sonic.
Insane.
It does sound like Sonic. Actually, it sounds more like
Nope,
Burgatory, but
not the hedgehog. Nope, a burger place.
We're talking about a restaurant.
I don't believe you.
pull it up.
Have you never
pull
had
up.
a Suncrest?
I don't know what that means.
Like over with the Kroger down.
I don't have a car.
You don't have a car. Oh, you don't have a license, do you?
I have a license, not an American one.
Oh, I don't have either.
I'm stuck
don't
in
have a
the
license?
apartment.
Nope.
What?
I walk everywhere.
Me too. Yeah.
Not taller though, but I mean,
I got struck.
Ah.
That's Sonic.
Sonic.
You see how
Never-
you
never
drive? You
seen
drive in. You,
that. It wasn't not.
Mira, zoom in on the. Yeah,
it's
there we go. Get a
different,
get a good picture of the stalls. Yeah, see?
Oh, it's okay. It's similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's America's.
Mir, could you pull a Burger Master for me? Yes.
This is. I don't.
Yeah, one word, I think. But that should be
I
fun.
can't believe they don't have cars.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, that's very similar to Sonic.
Oh gosh, that's old. That's old.
Yeah, dude, I love all
Yeah.
love all come. All right, I'm pretty sure Emma's older than me.
I am not. Probably am.
How old are you?
Next question.
I'm 21. I'm 21. I am not 30. I am literally
Do I look older?
yes,
Okay, good.
but not like in a bad way. Like you just look older than.
You ate for so long that you really just,
It is.
you
it
know,
is.
they just maybe prolong the or extend. Oh, he's getting the wallet out right now.
Um,
Can we get a money spread on stream, please, for that $1? Whoa! All right, let's see
I will
this right now.
grab my euros right now.
You have euros on you?
Yeah.
Really? You carry them around? No way.
I can't come. Hold on.
Here, I'll vouch. I'll just vouch. I'll vouch with the camera. Okay.
No, because you're gonna lie.
No, I would not lie.
Literally gonna-
I would not lie. All right, so address 1. All right, date of birth 1972. No, that is crazy. Are you faking your age to be euros? Whoa! Holy, they're so
It's
colorful.
More than $1.
So small.
It's very colorful too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Look at that chat.
Hey, I'm
Okay,
gonna,
tell
I'm
me
gonna
what
get my
looks
bands out
better,
right
though.
now.
Like, be completely honest. Which one do you want to pay with?
Okay, euros look fake. I'm gonna be honest. Euros look like Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Euros do look fake. Like,
That's not a real. That's not
This,
real
this
currency.
looks like Monopoly money.
okay.
Monopoly money's so colorful. Mira, pull a picture of Monopoly money. She said no. Why is it when I ask, I get a no?
You don't have to do. Don't do.
Yeah, I see it. He's 21, Chad. It's okay. He's 20. Oh wait, we actually have people. Okay, pizza's pretty up there. Oh, look at that. It's not a Sonic. It's called Burger Master.
I'm
It's a
older than
dine-in.
21. I don't have one on me.
Oh.
I have a
Wait,
passport
I
on me.
should pull mine out. Hold on.
Oh,
Yo, my
I have a
picture is
passport.
bad, bro. My picture is from sophomore year of
I
high
don't
school.
have me actually. Might have it back home.
Can you not get back home?
No, I have it, but I don't,
Are you stuck here?
I don't know. My pocket's literally on there
Okay.
if it's at my apartment.
Yeah.
It's not. I was commentating with you and I look like this. I was commentating. Yo, it's not that funny, I swear.
It is that
Yo,
funny. It is.
Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off. No, it's
Back
too
it,
blurry.
back
It's
it
too
up.
blurry. Oh my god. Oh, no, still too blurry. You can't see it just yet. Here, I'll get
You
my face
cannot
right
see
next to it.
it.
Get my face right next to
Yeah,
it.
back a bit.
Oh
maybe?
yeah, yeah, maybe a little more. It's still not focusing.
It's not.
It's not great. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's just a blurry mess. You can't even
It's
see
just-
anything. You suck at this, man.
Wait, I'm gonna help.
Oh, we're just putting a team effort just to just show sophomore year me, aren't we? Just really going through here. Just, you know. And oh, it's not focused just yet. I'm gonna lie to you guys and say it never focuses when it does. I'll tell you what. It is slowly focusing. He's gonna leak my address on stream. I'm gonna have people come to my house and oh my god, it's getting there. He's there. Oh, I'm there. I'm there. I'll tell you what. I mean, and now we're out of focus. You need to fix that now. Yeah, I'm currently a couple of dots of color. So
Me too.
I mean, oh, almost there. It's a little better now. We're up in the quality on the
Yes.
stream. Okay, great. Thank you. Wow. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. My Discord in my stream is going crazy.
actually-
right now. I kid you not.
I have a picture of my ID.
Like, look.
actually.
Okay,
Let me
I'm gonna
grab
see what
it.
they're saying right now. They're literally. Oh my god. How short are you? He says. How short are you? Yo, guys, I swear I'm not that short. I swear he says, bro, don't give AF what you're saying, bro. Yeah. Kellen never cares, bro. Yo, I'm getting trolled in my own Discord right now.
Similar to an American.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Mhm.
You could pass. They're screenshotting my ID. They're screenshotting my ID. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? I swear. It's not that bad.
Oh, no.
Guys, look, man. This is old. Kellen knew me when I looked like this. I don't know why he's clowning me right now.
Well, really on camera back then.
I was actually.
Well, not really.
I was on camera all the time because I had a face cam. I remember one time I went on camera with you and there was somebody laying in your bed in the background and we had to cut that out.
Wait, there was?
Yeah. It was on an Overwatch stream playing
No.
Kings Row.
I think we've kind of lost the purpose.
Oh,
But anyway, Italy has the best food. That has been a hot seat. We're going to be right back. Emma, thank you so much for joining us
thanks for
today.
having me.
We've had a wonderful time, and it looks like we have some other content to do now.
Yes.
Trying American food, and
Come watch the
yeah.
24-hour
but it's going to
Day
be a
of
good
Giving
time.
stream.
Yes, Day of Giving. It's coming up March 25th and 26th. But nonetheless, Luke and I are going to be right back to wrap up this episode with our crystal ball predictions. So
I'm gonna stand right.
Hey,
there.
that's
I'm gonna look you in the eye when you tell me
When I
we
tell
are
you-
going to win.
I think I'm pretty sure you guys play.
It doesn't matter who we play, we win. We are going
Fair
to
enough.
win.
But anyway, we're gonna send it to a really short break, and we'll be right back with Crystal Ball. Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the last segment on these country roads, the home stretch, you could say, that final point of when you reach your driveway after you've been driving on those country roads for so long. But what? What do you say? Oh, but let's start it off with Valorant, Maryville.
Did you watch the last one for Val?
I was on the cast. Yeah, Fate's a silly goose. Yeah, so I was on the cast. I've been on every Valorant cast actually. And I don't know. I just think as close as it was with St. Clair and as good as it was, I just don't see them pulling out a win here. I think their first win of the season is going to come in week 5 against Winthrop. I think the Mountaineers lose here.
I do agree with that. I mean, looking at how you play against, somebody like St. Clair, obviously a great team. But Maryville, another team that is also amazing. But I mean, would you see maybe a map going their way? Because I mean, if you look at the St. Clair game, it was not a blowout by any means. Both games were close. A lot of mistakes, I say, were definitely made. But 12-14, 11-13, both games down to the wire, could go either way. But a team like Maryville, I mean, dude, a bunch of dogs in that squad. So I don't know if that's going to go.
I think Maryville is currently the #1 squad in the Super Conference. So
you're saying 2-0?
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the expert's opinion here, guys. I'll take his opinion. He's a
yeah. So that's going to be a tough one. But moving on to another tough match, COD, West Virginia versus Akron, a very, very good squad. I'm going to go a loss, but I think they take a map, and I would love for it to be Search and Destroy.
I think if they do take a map, it will be Search and Destroy. That seems to be the closest one in every single game. And I mean, I'm gonna have to agree once again here. I know I'm not trying to copy him, I swear, but it is currently seeming so. I mean, but I think if we're gonna take a map, it's going to be Search and Destroy. It's definitely by far the best one. And I mean, just performance-wise, has been strong. Probably not gonna be Hardpoint, if I'm being honest here. I don't think it's gonna be a Hardpoint map if we're one. That's not
definitely
doesn't really go too swell a lot of times. But
and now Rocket League.
Yes, this is an important one.
So.
Are we doing
West Virginia versus St. Clair? This is a team that they got reverse swept in CRL last weekend to knock them out of. That was tough.
It was definitely tough.
So you have the Mountaineers looking to be in the positive column, and St. Clair looking to continue their dominance.
I do think that
because that Maryville game is so close.
It was, and now you go into St. Clair. I mean, if the Maryville game's that close, and they're playing solid, they're playing well, because you just got to assume that they're not playing bad. You can't assume that, right? You got to assume
they're not.
They're playing solid. Exactly what I'm saying. So you have to just take the positive there. And I think if you do take the positive here, I think you come out with a W. Would you agree? Or are you a hater?
I don't know. What are you saying?
I'm saying, let's take a little look at this Maryville game. I'm saying it's a Maryville game was close. We don't know the scores because they're not updated. We just did they did lose.
I don't think they lost by anything more than 2.
Yeah, I agree. So I think we're gonna have a 3-2 Mountaineer win.
Okay.
I do think once again though, if the Maryville game was close, this one's also gonna be very close as well. But I do think we come out with a W.
I think it's gonna be a 3-2 loss.
Okay.
I think that we're gonna see what happened in CRL and what happened against Maryville, and just not going to be able to close it out. However, if they do, then that is a very, very big step forward.
Yes.
Lastly, Lotus roster, arguably the best performing team of the West Virginia esports organization, going up against North Texas, who went the distance with UW Stout.
Which is impressive. Yeah. So they're not, they're definitely playing
says
well
something
there.
about them. But I think that this Lotus roster is on a roll.
Yep.
And I think that if they want to solidify themselves into that second place, then they need to get a win here. So I'm going to say that they are going to get a win here. However, I'm going to say that it's going to come in Game 5, and those map losses are going to be
right. You better be careful. Emma actually has some unseasoned potatoes and vegetables that are getting ready to throw at Helen. I'm going to go. Okay, here's what I'm going to go.
I would have.
I'm going 3-1. I wouldn't say that. I'm just
if I thought they would have lost, I would have said I think they would have lost. I don't care who's in here. You could have the entire Lotus and Josh in here, and I would have said that they lost. Because I'm
potatoes and ham.
I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. But I do genuinely think that this Lotus roster is finding some really good momentum at a very important part of the season. So I think that they can take down this North Texas roster no problem, and we'll see them advance to 4-1.
I do agree there. I mean, North Texas, like you said, going the distance last week, and so that's an impressive feat, but not coming out the W, but still an impressive feat to even go the distance to begin with. But like you said, Lotus on a roll. I don't see that stopping. I think they're gonna just continue that roll for at least for now, especially against North Texas, and I think we're going to have a 3-1 victory. I think that loss is going to come in the third. I think we're going to have a repeat, basically, of last week. I think we're going to have a close game 3, going to lose it, though, close it out in game 4.
Fair enough. Hey,
solid.
Absolutely fair enough. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us on these country roads. We have finally entered the driveway. Yes. And we're going to close it out here. We have some exciting games, obviously, for you coming up next week. No stream on this Saturday. We were going to do CVAL, but unfortunately,
that was us, right?
That game got rescheduled. I'm not sure who. I think it was you and Gabe. But
one of the two.
So take some time off. Enjoy yourselves because we have an action-packed week next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials, WVU Esports, just about anywhere you consume your media. Be sure to like and follow. And if you can afford it to, here on Twitch, subscribe. It helps us immensely.
Keep the lights on.
Yeah, well.
And then turn off the times to stream, so you gotta help us out, guys.
Exactly. But again, thank you so much for watching. This VOD will be up on YouTube, so you can watch me expose Luke's ID picture over and over and over again.
Clip it, put it somewhere.
Exactly.
Just might as well. Just you know what? Next time, just put the address on there.
Why not?
Put the address on there. Pop up to my mom's house. Whatever you want to do, right? So
thank you so much for joining us on these country roads, and we'll see you next week.